The decline of the Harappan society marked not an end but a transition. A sunset giving way to a new dawn that shaped the very essence of Bharat as we know it today. Around 1500 BCE, this new chapter began with the migration of the Aryans into the Indian subcontinent. The origins of the Aryans remain a subject of great debate. However, the most plausible theory places their roots in the vast steppe region, stretching from Poland and southern Russia to Central Asia, a land synonymous with the domestication of cows and horses, two elements deeply embedded in Aryan culture. These people were primarily pastoralists who supplemented their livelihood with farming. When the Indo-Aryans arrived in the Indian subcontinent, they interacted and intermingled with the indigenous populations, giving rise to the group archaeologically identified as the ancestral North Indians (ANI). In contrast, the ancestral South Indians (ASI) remained closely connected to the subcontinent's original inhabitants, a connection strongly supported by modern genetic research. Interested in exploring this fascinating topic further? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's delve deeper into the Aryans themselves. Once considered a race in the 19th century, Aryans are now recognized as a linguistic group. They spoke Indo-European languages that later gave rise to Sanskrit, Latin, and Greek. This connection is evident in similar-sounding words across these languages. Sanskrit yug and Greek zug both mean yoke, while Sanskrit nab and Greek nous translate to ship. The Vedic period, named after the ancient Vedas, meaning knowledge in Sanskrit, marked the cultural cornerstone of this era. The Vedas, Hinduism's oldest sacred texts, remain a vital source of information about this time. The Vedic era is generally divided into two phases. The early Vedic period, from 1500 BCE to 1000 BCE, and the late Vedic period, from 1000 BCE to 500 BCE. During the early Vedic period, Aryans settled in the Sapta Sindhu region, or the land of seven rivers, the Sindhu, Vitasta, Asikni, Purushni, Vipash, Shutudri, and Sarasvati. This vast area spanned present-day Punjab, Haryana, parts of Jammu and Kashmir, and even southern Afghanistan. The Rig Veda, the earliest of the Vedas, provides us with a window into their world. It is a collection of 1,028 hymns, organized into 10 books. The early Vedic society, known as Jana, was largely tribal. Leadership fell to a Rajan, or chief, who was not a hereditary ruler but was elected by tribal assemblies like the Sabha, Samiti, and Vidatha. Taxes, known as Bali, were voluntary, and armies were raised only when needed. Remarkably, this society was egalitarian. There were no child marriages, no sati, and no purda system. The caste system, or varna, was fluid and determined by occupation rather than birth. Women, too, held significant roles. Many, like Apala, Lopamudra, and Gosha, were esteemed thinkers and contributors to Vedic literature. Wealth was measured in cattle, considered sacred providers of sustenance and prosperity. Trade, present, was conducted through barter, as coins had not yet come into use. Battles, such as those described as Gavashana, literally meaning search for cows, often revolved around cattle. Religiously, early Vedic society worshipped a pantheon of gods, with Indra, the rain and thunder deity, reigning supreme. Goddesses like Ushas, Sarasvati, and Prithvi were also revered, though they played secondary roles. Bharat and Puru were one of the most prominent tribes mentioned in Rigveda. The Rigveda mentions the Battle of the 10 Kings, where the Bharata tribe, considered an ancestor of the Kurus, fought against a coalition of tribes. Bharatvarsha was named after Bharat tribe. Alliance of Bharat and Puru tribe in later period gave rise to Kuru dynasty. Great War of Mahabharat from Kuru dynasty is believed to happen during Vedic period. The late Vedic period saw profound transformations. New texts, like the Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda, emerged, offering insights into evolving social structures. Society expanded eastward into the fertile Ganga-Yamuna Doab. Iron tools revolutionized agriculture and warfare, fostering the rise of larger political entities known as the Mahajanapadas. However, this era also brought challenges. Egalitarian ideals gave way to hierarchical systems, leadership became hereditary, and the caste system rigidly stratified by birth. Women's status declined, and rituals grew increasingly complex, consolidating power in the hands of Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Trade flourished, with the first coins like Nishka and Krishnala replacing barter systems. Religiously, deities like Vishnu and Rudra rose in prominence, reflecting the shifting spiritual landscape of a society now more agrarian and diverse. This fascinating transition culminated in the formation of the 16 Mahajanapadas, precursors to the vast empires of later periods. What if the early Vedic egalitarian ethos had endured? Would our world look different today? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and stay tuned for our next video, where we explore the rise of Jainism and Buddhism and their transformative impact on Bharat's cultural and spiritual fabric. If you found this video helpful and want more content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.